Hey, welcome to the Daily Beard for March 6th, 2019. So, I was on my phone today, and like going through Facebook, it's like you do it every once in a while. And the thing comes up where it says, "Oh, look at your Facebook memories from this date, X number of years ago." And so and whenever I see that, I always go click it because it's interesting to see some of the things that, like, oh, look what we did this years ago. Or sometimes I'll post a status from like 6 years ago, and I'll be like, I don't even know what that status means. I have no clue what it's talking about. But today, one of the things that was on there was 8 years ago today, I believe it was 8 years ago today, I got baptized. So if you don't know what baptism really is, baptism is once you become a Christian, once you acknowledge who Jesus is and that he's Lord of your life and all that kind of stuff, you are supposed to get baptized. And getting baptized is a outward sign of the inner change. So the inner change being that you are now a Christian. I keep tapping where the mic is. Sorry about that. And it's an outward sign. So in and of itself, it doesn't do anything. Like there's this thing like, if you're not baptized, you're not saved. And no, I don't believe that one bit. It doesn't say that anywhere in the Bible, as far as I can tell. And I've read it a bunch of times, but feel free to correct me if you're watching this and like, oh, it does in this verse. Go ahead. It doesn't save you. It just is the outward sign of the inner change. You've already done the change. It's just acknowledging it publicly. And I grew up in a church that doesn't, actually the only church that doesn't baptize in any way. So I've been a Christian my whole life. I grew up as a Christian. Here's the super quick version. Grew up raised by a Christian family, so grew up in the church, all that kind of stuff. As a teenager, I kind of put it in like late teens, I never left the faith, but I kind of looked at other faiths to see if what I believed was what I believe, or was it my parents? And it was what I believed. I was like, okay, this makes sense. I believe this. And so then I did the equivalent that the Salvation Army does, which is becoming a senior soldier. But that's a whole other story. But it's not baptism. So when we changed churches years later, and I was in youth. I was a youth leader, and a couple of the youth I knew were getting baptized, and it just kind of went, you should probably get baptized, like a little ding in my head. And yeah, because I hadn't been baptized. I've never been baptized until 8 years ago. Now, again, I don't think I'm not more saved today because I'm baptized and stuff, but it's just, it says to do it, so I did it. And it's a public declaration in front of a bunch of people that came, like a lot of people came that didn't normally come to my church to see it happen. A bunch of people at my church who didn't know me as well, who know me better now, saw it happen. And it's funny because what they do is they put you into this tank that's built into our church's stage, but sometimes they do it at a pool. I've actually baptized someone, one of my original guys, in someone's pool once. That's a whole other thing. But they, it's built into our stage, so you go in this tank, and then they ask you if you've accepted Jesus. You say yes. Then you tell your story, and then they put you under and bring you up, and it's supposed to signify that you died with Christ and were raised with Christ, thus you have a new life. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll gladly explain it better than I am right now. And the guy who baptized me, his name is Jim, a friend of mine, shorter Asian man. I'm 6 feet tall, 300 plus pounds, we'll say. Back then I was around 345, 350. And so because Jim, I didn't think Jim could actually do this by himself, I brought in another friend of mine named Gino, and he helped. So I had two guys baptize me because, look at the size of me. It's a lot to baptize. So, they baptized me, and I came up and gave them hugs, and yeah. And I'm just talking about today because that ding, 8 years ago today, you did this. It was like, wow, 8 years. Wow, time flies. I'm glad I did it. I wouldn't do it again because I've already been, once you've done it, you don't need to do it twice, but I'm going for a second Dunkin'. No. Anyway, that's it for today. I got nothing else. Stay bearded.